Buy that for $1.
Hey everybody, Dollar Club Wrestling here. I'm Panetta Sexy Time. And tonight we're going to talk about the Legends of Hamburg 2022. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's a meet and greet, that has a lot of wrestling legends and a lot of wrestlers from the present.
No longer mark our national mark.
Today, Junior.
It's owned by Antonio Longinier. I don't even know if I pronounced his name right, to be honest. I've only called him Antonio. But he owns that, and Jared Strunk runs Outbreak Wrestling. There's a live wrestling show after the fact, and then Ryan Vox is the guy that books the shows, and he might have part ownership too. And we're very thankful that those three guys let us be a part of their show. I'm here with my usual guest, Jim Prendy. Say hi, and then tell them like your experiences. It's your first time. We're popped your Hamburg cherry today. What'd you think? Just gonna like a couple quick words.
Hey guys, what's up? Good to be here. It was awesome. Great experience. Got to talk to a lot of cool people. Really appreciate the guys letting us be a part of it. Sponsoring the event was really special for us, and big things to come. It's just a start, so it was great.
Cool. And Johnny, we're also here with Johnny the Jobber. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you enjoyed the experience, and talk about a little bit about the Blue Meanie?
Yeah, man. It was awesome. It was a good time. We were at Hamburg last year just strictly as fans, and that was still a great time. But to actually be sponsoring the Blue Meanie, being there this year was, pretty wild. It was kind of a full circle moment for us. And Antonio and all those guys made us feel right at home. I don't want to jump ahead, but they hooked us up with like a couple things, and it was a super good time, man. Very happy to be there.
Yeah, the Blue Meanie was going to be there just for the meet and greet in general, and then we actually paid to sponsor him to actually be involved in the wrestling event later on, which is a really cool experience too. And he kind of gave us a little like free interviews. Like Johnny asked him a lot of questions. Why don't you tell him about that, Johnny? Like some of the questions you were asking him, and you get some really cool answers.
Yeah, one of the first things out of my mouth, I asked him how he got into doing the moonsault, or as he calls it, the meanie salt. And a lot of people have the story of like a trampoline or whatever, but he was telling us how he used to just do backflips in the pool as a kid, and he practiced like that. He did say the secret's all in your hips for doing a backflip. So little pro tip for you. But he was super awesome. I asked him about Steven Richards a lot. I was like, how did he like the Right to Censor and everything? And he was like, oh, he loved it, but his heart's still kind of with the BWO, obviously. And if you go to Steven Richards' YouTube page now, I mean, he still has all his BWO merch up and everything. So it was just super cool to even like support him at all and be a part of that. I mean, he's almost like the mascot wrestler of Philadelphia in a sense. You know what I mean? So root for the home team, BWO for life. He's always a super cool guy to see, man.
Hey, Johnny, I also found it interesting. He said doing the moonsault, it actually hurts more when you miss than when you land on somebody. I thought pretty interesting. And do you remember what he said, how you land with your feet? Didn't he say you have to point your feet or something?
Well, what he said, what hurts more than anything is your toes, because apparently like your toes tend to hit first. So it was interesting, man. If you guys, like for the OGs of this channel that remember our first podcast, the first time I met the Blue Meanie, I was so like geeked out and nervous. I just kind of like looked up and there was rafters. I'm like, who's taking the rafter spot? You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to like talk to him now and be able to like sponsor him and really just talk to him like as a person. You know what I mean? I was shooting the shit with him about his video game, Retromania. And, it was just cool. Like, we were just, like, talking like we knew each other. It was wild,
Yeah, and we'd like to thank the Blue Meanie, too. He shot a little promo for us, too, which is on the website, on the YouTube page. Jim, being our powerhouse of the Dollar Club, does the Blue Meanie inspire you to do any moonsaults?
Nah, not really. Maybe, like, 10, 15 years ago, I might try it. Not now. Even he said, he's done with the moonsaults. So, not my cup of tea.
And Jim, this being your first time there, was it what you expected, or give us your thoughts of what were you expecting, what you got out of it?
I think, it was probably a little more than what I expected. because of other events that we've been to, this was a little more like personable. It wasn't, it's like a different feel. It's more homey, I guess you could say. Everybody was really nice, down to earth. It was really cool. Booker T, I mean, even though we only met him for a minute, he was really cool. Just the way everything was set up, and I mean, it was really hot too. So, people could have been miserable and, not nice, but everybody was really nice. And, it was just like a different atmosphere than other things we have been through.
Yeah. It was so great being a part of the, like feeling like we were a part of the event, like Antonio and Jared and Ryan just treating us like we're one of them. Like, it was really awesome. Like we really felt like we were part of the event this year instead of just fans.
And I think being like stuff we got from it is things like business things like that we know now, that we didn't know before, that next time, we can do and try, like getting the other podcast guys we met. They were really cool. They had the business cards with the QR code on it. That was
let me shout
really
them out
cool.
real quick. Tantalizing Tony was an awesome guy, and the Tornado Tag podcast were awesome guys too. But let's not forget them. That's who they mentioned right there.
Yeah, they're cool guys. We took an awesome picture. Tantalizing Tony has a nice belt collection.
Does.
We
We should have brought our belts.
Yeah.
Before we get too far into that, you mentioned Booker T. We had a couple good Booker T stories. I'll start with mine. I think I was the funniest on that one. The guy that I was asking, the guy who was taking the pictures for us, like asked what we got, and I'm like, "Can I please just do a spin-a-rooney in front of him?" And he's like, "You're not doing that." Don't be a jackass. And then Antonio gave me a crown, like a free crown, like a Booker T King Booker crown too. And I went up to Booker and I'm like, I talked like I knew him too. I'm like, "Yo, Book, am I worthy of the crown?" He's like, "Yeah, you're worthy of the crown, kid."
You should have had him sign that.
I know, but I told him quick that we were just like, we got Charmel instead of the autograph. They did it for us for being vendors there. So we got two things. We took Charmel instead of the autograph.
At first, I thought you were asking the guy if Booker would do a spin-a-rooney. I'm like, what the fuck are you, man? He's not going to do a spin-a-rooney.
Yeah, if we weren't working there or weren't doing a podcast, I would have done it in front of him, had you guys film it, and like possibly get kicked out. But we got to be somewhat professional nowadays. Johnny, how did Booker what did you think of his physique? And did you get to talk to him at all, like when you were standing there?
I didn't get to talk to him a lot. I mean, like you guys know, it was like a quick interaction, but I mean, it was wild. He was so tall and like, hardly like aged. It seemed like he gave me a good handshake. The only thing I really got to slip in there, I'm like, "Yo, by the way, I loved your feud against The Rock, like for the WCW title." And he's like, "Yeah, I enjoyed whooping his ass," or something.
Yeah.
Cool. Then,
but yeah, man, super cool. Super happy to get a picture with him. That's what I was hinting at with, Antonio. He really made that happen for us. He basically got us a free picture with Booker T.
Mm-hmm. Then Charmel's a beautiful woman too. She looks much better than she does on TV, honestly, too. Charmel looks great for her age too. What are they, both in their 50s? Booker looks like he still could go. He could be I think he could be a world champ again if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's definitely in good shape. Yeah.
Yeah, just looking at guys like that, they're just destined for greatness, guy that size. And let's start about when we first got there. We were allowed in before it started because we were vendors and we sponsored the Blue Meanie. We sponsored a shake weight challenge too, the creamy rolled order and stand styles. We actually missed that, but we sponsored it.
You were a little incapacitated.
We had a little bit of fun. But first people we saw were Deborah and Mr. Hughes. And Johnny really wanted to talk to Deborah, but he kind of got cock blocked by Mr. Hughes. So Johnny, why don't you talk about that?
That was pretty much it. I think it was just where we were standing. Like I was to the left of you guys and I was directly across from Mr. Hughes, who I really don't know. The only thing I can say, he wrestled the Undertaker, I guess. Like he had an urn with him. And you guys were like across from Deborah. So you guys got like handshakes, and I was mid-conversation, so I didn't want to like diagonal cross, go for the handshake awkwardly. But later in the evening, I did get to talk to her and meet her. I actually had a really good conversation with her. Talked a little about Stone Cold, talked a little about Jeff Jarrett.
Oh,
She
was
was
that a rough subject talking about Stone Cold, or she didn't mind? I know they broke up on bad terms.
well, funny enough, she was the one that brought it up because we were like talking with like Jeff Jarrett and she said she's like, at one point I like managed The Rock, and I'm like, oh yeah, like during the WrestleMania where it was The Rock versus Stone Cold, and she's like, yeah, that was so wild, like working with Stone Cold and working with The Rock. She actually had a really deep Southern accent to her, more than I realized. But yeah, she was cool. I obviously didn't like bring up anything too deep with Stone Cold, but she was kind of willing to talk about it like to a fan.
Yeah, she had
She
that
told
nice
me a little bit.
driving this Daisy like Southern black hat too, the big hat.
Absolutely, yeah. The only thing I was going to say, it was sort of the same thing with oh my God, I'm blanking out on her name. Rhea Ripley. She just needs to show more skin, Like, I feel like Deborah was kind of known for like her fake tits back in the day and whatever, and there was just no cleavage. She was in like a Southern hat. She was actually like fanning herself. It was pretty funny, but yeah, she was cool to talk to, man. I was really happy I got to meet her.
That's cool. And I was a fan of Mr. Hughes, and I do regret that I didn't get a picture with him just for the fact alone that he had Undertaker's urn. I wish I could have held that urn and gotten a picture. I even would have paid for that just to let me get a picture with the urn. I wish it would have looked. I wish it would have wrapped around and talked to him again.
Yeah, he was really cool. He actually called us over.
Yeah, he did.
Like we were walking by, he's like, "Hey guys, what's?" He saw our shirt. We all had our Dollar Club shirts on, and yeah, he actually called us over. He was a cool dude.
Yeah. Then he's like, "You guys wrestling fans?" In my head, I'm like, "Of course we are. Why would we?" Yeah, so he's pretty cool. And then we did a couple laps walking around. There's some cool vendors. I wish I had more of the vendors' names too. I know them by their faces. And then Johnny wandered off and talked to the headbangers. Johnny, why don't you talk about your headbangers?
Yeah, we lost Johnny for about an hour.
Yep.
Well, here, I'll tell you guys a story of what happened. So we're in front of the headbangers, and Kevin and Jim are like right behind me. And, we're all matching shirts. We sponsored the Blue Meanie to be there. So I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to use what little power I have. So I just started talking to him like I knew him. The first thing I said, I'm like, I used to play Warzone back in the day. Like, that was so cool you guys were in it. I don't know if you guys know about that video game. I had it on a N64, and Mosh and Thrasher were in it. So I just started shooting the shit, and I like casually bring up like, yeah, we're sponsoring the Blue Meanie actually, like da-da-da. And they're whatever you call him, the money collector, is like, oh, so he's like another vendor, da da da. And I'm like, yeah, it'd be so cool if I can get an autograph from my son, if you guys don't mind. And they kind of looked at their money collector, and he just gave me the nod, like, yeah, go ahead. So yeah, they gave me a free autograph for my son Connor, and they were super cool to meet. They were like, they wore their face paint and everything, like, they're all gimmicked up. So it was really cool to meet them. And then I turn around and you guys are gone.
Tell them about the, did you say the AEW story about them?
We weren't gone. We were there the whole time.
Like I literally looked behind me and you guys were gone. So I like went back to the car for more beer.
Johnny, talk about
I thought maybe that's where you guys were.
The AEW story with them.
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding me. So I asked them, I hope I wasn't like disrespectful, but I was like, so like, are you guys, looking to get back in the ring like anytime soon? And they're like, oh, we're still working independently. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But like, did Tony Khan ever give you guys a call or anything? And they laugh and they're like, as a matter of fact, he did. And basically AEW wanted them to put over FTR, like lose to FTR. And they didn't really want to do that. And in their words, the money wasn't right. So they didn't do it. So good for them, man. They defend their legacy, and they're not going to come back and work for cheap or work in like an angle they don't want to do. So that was really cool. It's cool to see wrestlers like still have that pride and you know what I mean? Like protect themselves and protect their finishes and all that. Like, so that was really cool. And like that's one of the things like with Ivory, like when I asked her like how's it feel to like be in networking now and be in the media, she's like, really, I just want to like get my boots back on deep down, and like everyone still wants to go. Yep.
And then at this point, me and Jim were literally standing 4 feet to the right of Johnny, and I guess he went to the left and me and Jim were talking and he disappeared for about like 20 minutes, and I guess so eventually we found him and we all went outside to drink a couple beers.
Yeah, he looked to the left, but he didn't look to the right.
I went to the right because that was the direction of the door.
Well, then you walked
'cause I
right
went
by
outside.
If you're a fan of Zoolander, Johnny's not an
180 around,
ambi-turner.
and you guys were nowhere to be found.
If you're a fan of
You guys played a
Zoolander, Johnny's
prank on
not an
me.
ambi-turner. He can only turn one way, apparently.
Yeah, I'm fucking Zoolander, man.
Yeah, so at this point, we all went outside and drank a couple beers and did a shot of Fireball. And then we see, I went to an H2O show. It's Matt Tremont's independent promotion in Jersey a couple weeks ago. And I got to see Mr. Ooh La La there. And I didn't actually meet him there, but like I think we said hi, but he didn't like know my name, but we recognized each other. So I saw him like bringing his bags down. I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Ooh La La, how you doing?" He recognized me from the other show. And we actually hung out, talked to him for a little bit. He's a really nice guy, great wrestler.
He really is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you two have seen him wrestle, but he's got a real like unique style. He's a showman. It's a lost art what he does too. And
well, he wrestled with like Hulk Hogan and stuff, right? I don't know if he ever wrestled Hulk Hogan.
That era. And by the way, we didn't even mention this Hamburg Fieldhouse is a very historic arena in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. Same arena where Rowdy Piper hits Jimmy Superfly Snook over the head with the coconuts. And we actually
we have our own little.
Yep, Jim gave me a headshot, the same exact spot, which we'll post that maybe on here, maybe later. Legendary arena, Dollar Club Wrestling's bringing you here right now. The Dollar King is the man, and no one ever messes with the Dollar King because he's that good. No one ever will touch me.
Recognize me.
Andre the Giant used to wrestle here, like tons. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Google it, but yeah,
they actually have the same lights that Vince Senior bought. They're still that's what they use there.
Yeah. Then, but yeah, Mr. Will was an awesome guy. He gave me one of his shirts for free. I have to send him a Dollar Club Wrestling shirt. He loved our shirts. He was really cool.
What did he say when you have your?
Donna, that's a secret. But me and him are gonna have a match once I finish schooling. He's gonna be one of my first matches, so I can't wait. You don't talk about booking, buddy.
Come on, man. Breaking the biz.
Okay.
And then after Mr. Will left, we were about to do another shot of Fireball. That might have been the first shot. And then these two like really pretty girls with like huge tits are walking by, and we were like, "Are they wrestlers? Are they like models? Or what is this?" And like we knew they had to be somebody famous. And like the girl like turned back and like looked at us, and I'm like, "Cheers!" And they were smiling and walked away. And then eventually we went inside, and I met the one. Apparently her name's Pale Mayfield. She's on 90 Day Fiance, and she's training to be a professional wrestler now. She was really nice. I got a picture of her.
I watched some stuff. She's actually been in shows and stuff, wrestling wise.
Oh yeah, I saw some indie stuff on her like Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was like, she's really nice too. I tweeted the picture to her, and she retweeted the picture. Mr. Ulala retweeted us too. Really awesome people. They're really like, we're making some really great connections, and it's great to be a part of the wrestling community. And we're building our own Dollar Club community as well. Jimmy, do you guys have any other thoughts on Mr. Ulala or the Smoking Hotties?
No,
I thought it was hilarious when you were like, I hope you don't care if I say it, but you were like, "Oh yeah, I got the one's picture. I paid $20 for a picture." And Jim's like, "Oh, well, who was she?" And you were like, "I don't know. I just want to."
I knew her name was
like, you should have seen what she would do for 50.
I knew her name was Paola. I didn't want to ask her. That was like rude, you know?
Yeah.
I knew she's gonna be big.
She was just some girl, a fan, and he paid her $20 for a picture.
if Kevin sees a hot girl walking down the street,
hey, I'll give you 20 for a picture.
Nah, not at all.
I'm playing.
Then post it on the page. This is my girlfriend.
Jim, how cool is it?
$1.
Jim, how cool is it when you met Tugboat?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
he was a cool dude.
I worked a show in Maryland, and I met Tugboat. He's the Shockmaster Typhoon, and he recognized my face. He was walking by, so I'm like, "Hey, Tugboat, this is my buddy Jim," and introduced him. He doesn't even know my name, but he knows Jim's name now.
Yeah, he was cool.
That's awesome.
And
that's like the How I Met Your Mother trick. Like, have you met Ted? You know,
we
Hope you
which
guys watch that. Sorry.
Demolition was there too.
Yeah.
They're like my favorite tag team of all time. They're awesome. One of them, you called them the wrong name.
Yeah, I feel bad about that too. Like I call him like, yo, what's up, Axer? I met him before too. And he goes up to Jim to make sure I knew the name right. He's like, Barry Dorso right here. I'm like, fuck, I mixed him up. He's like, he was on TV, he looked smaller. You know, Axe looked like the bigger one, in my opinion. You know, he didn't look like the Repo Man. He big guy, you know. But they're nice guys too. They're big fans. Well, I think Axe is a fan of camping too, he was telling me. I didn't get to talk to Smash.
Wonder if Crush ever goes. Crush alive?
Nah, he passed away.
That's why I thought he passed, yeah.
Him and what's Adam Bomb passed away too. They were tag team in WCW a little bit. Oh, Johnny, tell him about the friends you met, that Hot Pepper podcast people.
Oh, the Pepper Unit, man. At one point when I was outside, I think it was when I lost you guys from the Mosh and Thrasher thing, I just went out and had a beer, and I asked like one of the guys for a lighter, and you know they were all standing around there like SUV tailgate style, and I think they like asked about my Dollar Club shirt, and I'm like, oh yeah, we sponsored the Blue Meanie, da da da, and they're like, oh that's cool, like we're YouTubers too, we're on this thing, the Pepper Unit. Do you like hot sauce? And I'm like, yeah, I like hot sauce. And they gave me this little like dabber. It was some type of extract, and they just put a little on my tongue, and it like burned up pretty good. We had a good conversation. And then eventually you guys came out, and I introduced you and everything. Yeah, I actually need to reach out because apparently his wife makes something called chippies. Because here's the thing. Everyone knows the one chip challenge, right? Apparently the quality of that chip, the chip itself, like sucks. So his wife actually makes like good quality, like hot chips. And he said he would like, send us some. And I told him we would do them on the podcast sometime. So hopefully we can really make that happen. I would love to do it. That sounds fun, So they were super cool.
What's their name again, Johnny? The Pepper Unit?
Yeah, the Pepper Unit. Yeah, you can find them on YouTube.
Forward me and Jim their information, and you guys make sure you follow Tantalizing Tony and Tornado Tag on social media too.
Will do. I followed Tantalizing Tony, I remembered.
Nice, very good.
Yeah. So, but I will, Tornado Tag, absolutely.
Cool. Then, let me talk about Doc Gallows. He was awesome. Like, I went up to him and I'm like, Doc, can I get a picture with Sex Ferguson? And he started cracking up. And then, because if you guys don't know, they did like a show during COVID at their house, him and his tag team partner Carl Anderson, and they have like fake, like how we have our promo show, a promo league, they have their own, and he's Sex Ferguson and Carl Anderson's Chad Too Bad. So he thought it was funny that he knew that. He knew I was a real fan. And then he's like, yeah, but as a matter of fact, you actually look like my partner. You look like Carl. And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. I'm like, can I get that picture? He's like, yeah, as long as I can get a picture with you too, and I'll send it to Carl. So I got a picture with him. I did the two. Oh, he had the TNA or the Impact Tag Team Championship too, the belt. So he's like, put the belt on. So he put the belt on. We two sweeted too. And then he took the picture of me. And then I actually wrote him on Twitter and put that picture up there. And I'm like, what did Carl Anderson say? And he's like, he said he called you Carl's Jr. Get it?
Nice.
Yeah, so I posted that online too. It showed everybody that he called me Carl's Jr. That was like my highlight of the whole show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think Johnny was in the bathroom at that point. I don't think you got to see him. Jim, did you? You didn't get to talk.
Yeah, I was right there next to you.
Yeah. You say anything to him?
I know exactly what happened.
No, I didn't say anything. You guys were having your thing.
Cool. And then Jim, talk about Joel of the SAT brothers.
Well, yeah, he was a nice guy. At some point later in the event, when we were feeling ourselves, Kev was in his wrestling mode.
King came out.
Johnny felt it. Kevin actually did a Samoa drop to Johnny. How's your back, by the way, Johnny?
Dude, I was very concerned. That like effed up my night because I was drunk too, man. I was really drunk, or else I would never let that happen.
We met so many.
It was so tight,
there, but we were too drunk to remember most of it. But I remember Joel.
But anyway, Kev was walking around with his shirt off, and I saw these guys that were getting ready for the show, the Outbreak show, and I went over to him. I'm like, "Yo, man, what's your name?" He's Joel from the STA?
SAT brothers.
SAT brothers. I'm like, "Yo, man, can you give my man a chop over here?" So he gave Kev a chop so we could put it on our channel. All right, we're here with Joel from the SAT. He's going to give the Dollar King a chop.
Yeah, make it happen. I just took a bump on the
Let's see what he can do.
concrete.
Can the Dollar King take it?
One chop. Right here, this way.
Yeah. Oh!
Sorry.
I asked the other guys too. They all said no. I guess they didn't want the liability, but
Yeah, Joel went easy on me too. Looking back at it, he went pretty light. But I
yeah.
appreciate
And then we proceeded to ask everyone else to give him a chop. Johnny chopped him. He
Big
gave him
man
the
style.
front chop though.
Yeah, he did the great Khali. He great Khali.
It didn't look like the Great Khali.
And I way oversold it like Shawn Michaels versus Hogan until I went down,
And
kicking
then
my legs up like a turtle.
Beck gave you a pretty good one.
Yeah, Beck did it good too. Yeah, Jim, there were a lot of people like down the one aisle we wanted to see too, but Sergeant Slaughter was there and he had the besides Booker T, his line was massive. There was like grown men like crying to see him. I have a picture of like a guy hugging him too. Like, I don't think I'd react that way to any wrestler, but it's still amazing the type of way that these guys make people feel.
No, I definitely wouldn't react that way to any wrestler, but you forget about like how like big he was. I mean, he was pretty popular.
Beat Hulk Hogan.
He beat Hulk Hogan. He was a champ. He was WWE champ. He was in. I mean, he was probably one of the biggest stars of that time. I guess you could even say he's one of the biggest stars ever.
I would have liked to see him too, but I wasn't waiting in that line.
No, I wouldn't wait in that line for anybody except for like The Rock or Stone Cold or something like that.
Hey, Johnny, we're just talking about the Sergeant Slaughter line. And
But yeah, that was cool. That line. Actually, one guy who was with Antonio, he got that helmet signed by him. That was cool. Like the Army helmet.
I wanted to get Slaughter to call me a maggot on video, but I wasn't waiting in that line. We could have gotten that done.
Who we saw.
I yelled Virgil's name, but he was like looking at us, but we couldn't get to him because the line, like just because the line.
He did look at us. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" Guys?
I talked to him before, so he recognized me. But
like from across the aisle, you say, "Yo, Virgil." He looked, "Hey, yeah, guys, what's up?"
I was gonna ask him to join the Dollar Club. That would have been awesome too.
We saw Mr. Kennedy.
Wait, you saw who?
Mr. Kennedy. Mr.
Kennedy.
Anderson.
But yeah, he actually looked like
not
a wrestler anymore.
He looked
he looked like a normal dude.
Yeah, like a little bigger.
Not that wrestlers aren't normal guys, but you know what I mean.
I don't know if he's wrestling right now. He could be in NWA. He might just be like taking a little break, but I'd like to see him.
Greg the Hammer Valentine was there also.
Hamburg
really to him and what the hell was his name? Vince Russo's boy.
Oh, Dave LaGreca was there too. Busted Open Radio.
Shane
Douglas.
Shane Douglas, yeah.
We saw an Al Snow cosplayer. We got a video.
Yeah, that dude was awesome.
What does everybody want?
A lot of help me written on his head, and he brought a head.
That got a lot of views on YouTube.
We saw him walking in, and I was just like, what does everybody want? And he's like, head. And he's like, I got the head in the car.
Layla Gray was there. I wanted to meet her too, but I couldn't. Like Sergeant Slaughter line was literally right in front of it, so we couldn't get to her. If we would have came a couple hours earlier, we could have met everybody too. Like work, because you would have helped out more on the show. But John, you remember me? Who else was there that we we're gonna save the acclaim for the main event to end the thing with. So who else we're missing? There's so many people there.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we hit the major ones that I got to meet. You know, Marshall Thrasher, the Meanie, Deborah, Mr. Hughes. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm forgetting people. We told these stories like so out of order. I feel like after the good old Kevin had to make sure he could lift up a guy that weighs less than 160 pounds.
I tried to do
Samoan drop. I know. I was so
Johnny's
drunk
never
by
going to
that
let
point.
that go.
I was just like, I had the beer courage, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, yeah, I can do it. Like, I thought two things. I was like, I can trust Kevin, and he's pretty trained at wrestling.
Now he gave you scoliosis.
You took the safest fall you could take. You shouldn't do it on concrete, you know?
For real.
There's a reason why the pros have padding there.
Yeah, it was a very bad idea, kids. Like, you know, don't act like me. Don't let your friends slam you on the concrete when you're a fucking 33-year-old man.
33.
Snitsky was there. Jesse Camilla was there. Oh, I forgot her real name.
Send Kev the chiropractor, Bill.
When Jesse Camilla was walking out, I think next to Kylan King, they were like carrying their bags. I'm like, hey, need help with your bags? And Jesse was nice. She's like, no, thank you. But they didn't blow me off. It was cool. They were nice. And they're probably missing so many people. You guys, Lady Frost, which you guys don't know her. She's done some NWA work.
I think you covered most of them.
Yeah, there's guys you probably saw that you didn't even know were wrestlers too.
Yeah, and girls.
Yeah, Lance Anoa'i from like Roman Reigns' relative, another cousin, I think. He was there too. Saw my buddy Adam Bergenson. He used to wrestle for Outbreak too. It was good seeing him. Haven't seen him in a while. He moved to Florida. We got Booker T shirts. It's cool. Bad Bunny's on the shirt too. Because Booker T came walking in with a GI Pro shirt. That was pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the main event. So we saw the Acclaim there. If you guys don't know them, they're Max Caster, Platinum Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens. Max Caster is a similar gimmick to the Dr. Thugonomics, the rapper back in the day. So we saw him. We kept eyeing him up. I'm like, Johnny, you got to rap battle him, dude. You got to do it. And I'll scissor Anthony Bowens, not sexually. Like he has like a finger scissoring thing, people too.
What a plan!
He's gay, and I wanted to show him that I was an ally too. So I wanted to be nice, you know, like. So I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to Bowens, you talk to Caster. We'll get some cool footage and see if they're cool guys. All right, so we're trying to grow up the courage to talk to these two grown men. So we did a lap.
Kevin wants to scissor one of them.
We're like, all right, let's go chug a beer. That way we'll like have the courage to do it. And Johnny's like, I think you were more afraid to than me, actually. You're like, I'm not ready.
You're telling the story. First of all, Kevin was peer pressuring me. He's like, you got to battle Max Caster, da da da. And at this point, I'm already like drunk, and I know I'm drunk, and I'm like, dude, I don't know, I don't think I can. And you're like, you gotta, and I'm like, and then regardless, we were gonna walk up and meet him, and they said as we were walking up, like Max Caster said out loud, like, oh, these guys are eyeing us up, da da da. And I don't know if he was trying to be funny, or if he saw like a scuzzy white guy in a flat-brimmed hat and knew what it was. But yeah, the first thing you were like, yo, can my friend like rap battle you? And he was kind of like, I don't know. And me and him had like just a normal conversation. And I was like, yeah, man, I always thought you were a better like rapper than John Cena. Like at least you do it over a beat. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like big upping him for a little bit. And I guess I just acted awkward enough where he was like, all right, like I'll rap with this guy. And
you white men can't jump them. You were like Woody Harrelson on him, you know?
Yeah,
he hustled.
That's been the story of like not a lot of people know I can like I'm kind of good at rapping because I don't carry myself that way. I'm not even the biggest fucking hip hop fan. I just I have like a background in like writing poetry, and I'm oddly good at like freestyling. So yeah, what happened. I mean, the footage is out there. I think I fucked him up. And to be honest, like I didn't even do that good in my opinion. Like I'm normally a lot better, but
you fucked him up
pretty like geeked to meet him.
He won't even retweet it.
He won't retweet it. Today is day 6. He actually, I follow him on Twitter now, and he posted one of his like rap battles. He's like, in case you missed this rap battle, like something from AEW, and I commented, I'm like, retweet the one from Hamburg.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, you went
He's not going to do that.
You went a little too hard on him. You called him a dumb fuck. I'll spin you like nunchucks. You know, like
It's because it rhymed with the Young Bucks, which is what it all led to.
I thought he was good. It was good.
He thought I was funny.
Max
Because like,
Caster.
oh fuck! I can't believe I told these guys I could do this.
Yeah, pretty much. He like regretted it quick.
Yeah,
too,
he's like,
you know what I mean?
because of us, no one will probably be allowed to do that again. You know.
You know.
Also making for free, especially too.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. After I like took the soul out of his body, I then was like, I was like, oh man, that was awesome. And he's kind of giving me the look, like, yeah, thanks. Like, and I'm like, can I get a picture with you guys? And he asked, and he's like, yeah, like $10 or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I just got a whole video with you. I feel like I earned it. And then Anthony laughed, and he's like, all right. So I got a picture with him, and he says to me, he's like, one of you better buy like merch or something.
Yeah.
And before I could even answer, Kevin.
I like the shirt. I loved it. Like I'm a big fan of them too. Like we didn't do this in like a hateful way. Like we're fans of them. Like he's one of the few guys you like on AEW to start. You know, one of the first guys that caught your attention. You know, his rapping.
Yeah.
I already wore
because it's cool that he does it on beat and like on his way to the ring. I feel like it's a unique thing as opposed
when
to
he
Cena.
was against you, it wasn't on beat.
I think he got flustered and he doesn't know he doesn't know you. So how can he like come at you like personally?
Yeah.
Like he's like makes fun of something like hateful that it's like he looks like it's just bad for him. You know, I don't know what he would have said. Like, yo, you're wearing a blue shirt. That's the color of the sky, and you look like dirt. I don't know what
I think you're giving him excuses. I think he was trying, and frankly, when he does his thing on TV, like he's not fucking freestyling. Like, you know, he's writing that like an hour beforehand.
Your Halloween spirit.
So I feel like he just.
I've had so many people write me like on the side and like, man, you should sell that line to somebody that goes against him. Like, give it to Austin Gunn. That's a genius line.
And you know this guy wants to kick some raps. If I want to get down to mingle, sorry homie, I don't get down like that. I don't give a fuck. I spit it all up the brain. Your raps are bounce fake as a fucking chain. I don't give a fuck. And you know you can hear it. Where the fuck you get that chain from? Halloween Spirit?
Halloween Spirit line. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm really glad, man. I got a lot of positive feedback from it. A big shout out to Jimmy T from the PWC. He's been promoting that all over his show and everything. So, I wish it would blow up a little more with the views. To me, it's a little crazy, but the people that have seen it really seem to like it. You know,
I thought that was going to go viral.
It's got like 2,000 on TikTok.
I thought that was going to blow up big.
So did I. I really did too. And like hypothetically, how many views would it have by now if it was against John Cena? You know what I mean?
Oh, Cena'd have a billion.
Well, I mean, John Cena is a different.
Yeah.
But maybe I just overestimated how like Max Caster's on TV like every fucking Wednesday.
Let's give some love to Anthony Bowens too. I feel bad that Jim fucked up the video, so we only talk about Max.
I fucked it up.
Yeah.
How did I fuck it up?
I'm like, Anthony Bowens, how much to scissor you? And he's just like, he's cracking up. And we had like a big conversation too. He thought that was the funniest thing ever. I told him how great it is that they're faces now. They got to get the belts. Really long. He remembered my name too. Like when we were done, he's like, "Hey, nice to meet you, Kevin," which is really cool.
Well, wait, who the fuck hands someone a camera and hits record? They say record this, and they already hit record.
I probably said it's already.
How am I supposed to know you hit record?
Look at the fucking numbers it's moving.
Who looks at the numbers when you're recording something?
A person that's a professional, like
a professional doesn't hit record before it's time to record.
You still look, God damn it.
Yeah, bullshit.
Dude, I fucking scissored him like, and he went all in. Like,
you don't want that on camera anyway.
You guys know it's crazy when you first said, because after our whole little like rap battle was done and everything, one of you went like, "Oh shit, like you didn't get this or something," and I'm like, "Did you guys really not get that? Like I thought you missed the rap battle."
I was gonna ask him again, but you won the battle, so I felt bad. Max looked a little mad, so I should have just asked him to redo it.
Oh wow! Well, we got mad when he realized like the footage. We still had the footage.
he looked mad like that you beat him, like a little like frustrated, you know, you went hard, so like I don't want to be like, hey, we just called you a dumb fuck. Can we get redo that video, Anthony? You know?
I thought maybe he was mad because of the one line about when Max, you know, when he said, if I'm single, if you're looking to mingle or something.
Yeah,
And
Max
Johnny's like,
homoerotic
he's
shit
like,
a little
yeah, I don't go that way, homie.
bit. Yeah, I rebutted
No
it that next
disrespect,
round. It was
but I
wild.
don't go that way.
Yeah, they were awesome though. I can't believe they let us do that. You know, it was awesome.
Anthony Bowen really liked it. He was like the last one. I shook his hand. I'm like, all right, man. Good. He gave me the biggest smile. Like, I basically like, oh, you fucked him up. I'm going to make fun of him all night for that. Like,
Yeah.
so they were super cool, man. They were, you know, they were really good sports about the whole thing.
So I'm gonna
I
ask.
just wish they would retweet it, you know.
So John, I'm assuming that's your highlight of the show. Was that your highlight of the event?
I mean, I had such a good time in general. You know, yeah, I guess so. It was just super cool being able to like sponsor the meanie, even getting like Mush and Thrasher autograph, just the whole thing collectively, and just, you know, drinking with you guys all day. It was just a really fun day collectively, you know. So yeah, and you know what too, because after that we went directly to meet Booker T too. So just that whole like that hour was probably like the highlight, like beating Max Caster in a rap battle and then going to get a free picture with Booker T and then going to see the Blue Meanie who we sponsored and getting that commercial. Like, I don't know. That was kind of like the highlight to me.
And Jim, what was your highlight?
When you Samoa drop Johnny.
That was my highlight.
Johnny, Jim's highlight was the Dollar King and the Dong Skipper of all the celebrities. He was starstruck by us.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I think the highlight was just the whole day, being a part of it, being, you know, hanging out with you guys, drinking, having fun. You know, I just think it was all a great experience and, you know, something I'll never forget. So I don't think one thing stands out from anything else. I mean, obviously Johnny's rap battle, meeting Booker T, but collectively the whole day was, you know, awesome.
Are you guys going to work any other events, or are you just going to you guys just going to do the Hamburg thing with me every year? Are we going to like I think Antonio invited you to a couple. You guys might get a little buzz and said yeah to anything. You guys interested?
I mean, yeah, if I'm able to, I'll definitely, you know, do other stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let him know. My highlight was the Doc Gallows thing. I wish he probably would have let me film it on video too for free. I should have like tweeted him on video or something too. That would have been awesome. We got to be more ballsy and just ask people, because they're so cool, all the people too. Then yeah, so I guess you got any other thoughts we're missing? Anything else you want to bring up, Jim?
No, I think we covered it all. Just, you know, Johnny, send that chiropractor bill to Kev.
Yeah, well, I'm seriously thinking about going to get like a nice massage, but I'm pretty good now. I'm back solid. My back's good.
What massage parlor are you going to?
We'll see. The one on Main and Markley, baby.
Oh, and I want to give a thanks. We don't give him enough credit. Richard Bronson Vickery. He got us our foot in the door with wrestling too. Me and Jim.
RBV.
Yeah, RBV. He talked to Ari Alexander, their women's champion, and me and Jim escorted her to the ring. It was pretty awesome in Greenfield, Ohio, in the Professional Wrestling Alliance, the Great American Rumble. So the Dollar Club Enforcement Agency made their debut there, and I actually got to be a part of their Rumble. So I wrestled a professional match, which is pretty cool, as the Dollar King. I'll be attending school in January. I'm debating whether to go to the Dungeon, that's their school there, or the Alpha Junior School that he runs, the Battleground Wrestling. One of those, but it'll definitely be in January. Then hopefully I'll be wrestling at these kind of events by next year. And we're gonna work, like, if you email us at dollarclubwrestling.com if you want. We'll sponsor more wrestlers too. We'll definitely do that. Anybody wants help with promotions or any podcasting advice too? If we're looking for guests too. Blue Meanie said he'd do our podcast too. I want to kind of get a little more followers before we start bringing guests on. A little more catalog. just so we look a little more professional. What are your thoughts on that, Jim? You think we should start doing guests or?
Yeah, I mean, I think we bring guests on, it might bring more followers too.
Cool. And what do you guys thoughts on sponsoring more matches and stuff like that? Bringing in guys to these events, the indie events. That's something I'm looking to do.
Yeah, I was just saying next year we should see if we could sponsor. I was telling Kev, Johnny, that next year we'd see if we could sponsor Ted DiBiase. $1 Million Man beats the Dollar King.
That'd be wild. That'd be cool.
If we can't
For
get
ironic purposes, we should sponsor the Acclaimed. But they have to retweet.
Yeah.
No.
Say your part of your thing is you have to.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, just, go for the best bang for your buck. You know what I mean? We'll see what opportunities arise. And, because it's awesome. Even the people that have done our commercials, like Enzo, Chris Masters, like anyone that did like anything for, Dollar Club Wrestling, like I've automatically like become a little more of a fan of, you know what I mean?
Chris Masters is one of my favorite people now too. Like anything, I follow him everywhere on social media now. That dude is the coolest guy ever.
Sponsor him.
Oh, he's still wrestling in NWA. He might be the world champ there like, by the time this is out, But yeah, I'd love to. It'd be awesome. Yeah, but we're on Facebook now, guys. So follow Dollar Club Wrestling on Facebook. I think Dollar Club 24/7. You can search for it that way. On Twitter, Dollar Club 24/7. Dollar Club Wrestling is too long with names, so it had to be Dollar Club 24/7. TikTok, we're using our backup account, which might end up being our main account. We're still trying to get our old account back where we had the 1,500 followers. This one's getting tough to grow, but we'll be back either way strong on that one. Dollar Club Wrestling is the new one. The old one was Dollar Club Wrestling with the underscores in between the words. Am I missing any pages? YouTube. Yeah. If you're watching this, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us. We put all the stuff on there. Our wrestling promo league. Jim's still the champion. Shout outs to Sean Liam Riley. He's our hardcore intercontinental champion. Don Skipper down there is going to be up against him this month. The wholesome Andy Morton's up against him. Country Kev's up against him right now too. So go on TikTok and YouTube and hit your likes and see what promo you like the best too to see who our champions are. We have real belts. Me and Jim still have to do our match so you can see who the real champion is. We're going to do an actual professional backyard style brawl.
Yeah, you're not Samoa dropping me, I'll tell you that much.
I was just going to say, I better see a Samoan drop.
Dude. I'm fucking getting you up. This right here, put your dick in the dirt, son.
Oh, yeah, brother.
You really want to be a part of the Acclaim, don't you?
The one thing, just watch out for Kevin at wrestling events, because if he has too much to drink, he's just going to be shirtless, Samoan dropping his friends, taking shots.
I should have chopped him
out there.
Should have, man.
I should have chopped you.
Yeah. Cool. So that's where you can find all the Dollar Club stuff. Jim, where can they find you?
Yeah, find me everywhere. at Jim.
The way you said it was so good. Sorry. You can find me everywhere. Sorry.
Twitter at JimPrendy54. Same TikTok. Facebook, Jimmy Prendergast Jr. Just go to Pro Wrestling Tees Dollar Club. Check that out. We have a lot of cool t-shirts. Get yourself one. And go on all our social media. Follow, subscribe, like, whatever. Check out our videos. Help us out.
Well, now your fitness coach.
We'd appreciate it. Yeah, visit heartletics.com. Heartletics on YouTube has a podcast now, Heartletics Podcast. And then there's a Facebook group, but it's for like 40 years and over. So check him out, Coach Joe, Heartletics. Change your life, get in shape, all kinds of stuff. What about you, Johnny?
Johnny down there, he's going to have a new shirt debuting. He did such a good job against Max Caster. He's going to have a Yo Dollar Club Wrestling Wraps shirt debuting soon on Pro Wrestling Tees. So buy it soon.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it'll be up within the next couple of days. Hopefully by the time this show airs. Johnny,
The graphic looks really good.
got the Philadelphia skyline on it too.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm pumped. That one's getting ordered like the day of. Feel like I need to, but yeah, and you can find me at Johnny the Jobber on Twitter. I'm really surprised that name wasn't taken, but yeah, I got it, and yeah, I'm pretty much just reposting like wrestling stuff on there, all our pictures from Hamburg. But most importantly, just follow us at Dollar Club Wrestling on all major platforms. If you search that, you can find us. If you just search Dollar Club Wrestling on ProWrestlingTees.com, you can find all of our merch. Kev's like pumping out arguably too much merchandise, so check it out. A lot of really good designs, and just stay supporting, man. And we're going to keep doing cool stuff like this. We're going to keep going to events. We're going to keep making podcasts. We're going to keep trying to do all forms of entertainment. And who knows, I might get really drunk again and let Kevin body slam me on the concrete. So Stay tuned.
Yep. And any wrestling fans out there too, email us at Dollar Club Wrestling. Even if you just want a friend to go to a wrestling event with you with, and WrestleMania is going to be in Philly in 2 years too. If it has wrestling, we're interested. You want a promotion, sponsorship, message us. All right. Nice to talk to you guys. Enjoy the show. And please hit that like button and please hit that subscribe. And that is sexy time. Respect the dollar.
You taking a shit?
That was pretty solid.
I'd buy that for $1.